In today's episode, we put together a massive plastic factory. And then we take it all to our main base. Sort of. Welcome back to another episode of Satisfactory, my fellow friends. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day today. Oh, hello? What? Hello? He's there? He's not there. He's there? Oh my gosh. That's hot. Game's having a glitch. Anyways, as I was saying, welcome back to another episode, my fellow friends. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day today. As I was saying, I'm having a great one myself. We're over here in the start of the desert area because today we're going to work on a plastic factory. And this factory is going to produce about 1,800 plastic a minute. We're going to take in 600 crude. And I was just scouting out places to get some water because we're going to use the heavy oil residue recipe, the residual rubber, and diluted fuel, and alternative recycled plastic, and alternative recycled rubber to make that 1,800 per minute in plastic. Now you can also swap those around and make 1,800 rubber. You just have to flip, I think, invert the last stage of the recipe. But yeah, so that's what we're going to do today. We're going to get that set up. We're going to kind of decorate the building. We're going to also kind of look at a train system, the start of a train system to bring it back. And if we head on over here, we can kind of see this valley is really gorgeous and pretty, but it's just kind of desolate. So I figured a nice little building here will make it look a little bit more beautiful. And the oil is just around the corner. Some of you are probably fairly familiar with that. So let's just go over there real quick. So here we go. We got the oil nodes right here. There's 3. So we're going to probably take 2 of them, I think. We'll do 600 and we're going to plop a building down right here. So let me get started. I'm going to lay out some foundations, get my materials in order, do a stream probably, and get all of this set up and ready to go. All right. So the first step of the way, we need to set up 10 heavy oil residue refineries. They're going to create polymer, which we're then going to use in, I believe, the residual. This goes into the residual rubber. So right now I've got these underclocked for some strange reason. But anyways, I was gonna do something. I'm not gonna lie. I was gonna do it differently. But we're gonna fix this right now. We're gonna go with a tool that a good viewer of mine on our Twitch stream, which is twitch.tv/boombangcrash. Mr. Booma himself. He let me know about this tool on Satisfactory Tools that allows us to design all the stages of production, and it has been a godsend, if you will, for lack of it. Hey, I set this to here. I said copy, paste. There you go. Anyways, I'm changing up my mind midstream here. So what we're going to do is we're going to follow the recipe, which takes the 600 crude oil and converts it into the 1,800 plastic a minute. So let's go ahead and do that. We're going to just kind of zoop this out a little bit. We're going to make a little bit of a platform. And my idea here is we're going to just do like we kind of always do with our kind of factory builds, like the cement factory. We'll basically duplicate this on the other side where we output to the middle. We don't need much. We just need essentially one of those like so. And that's enough room to pipe out the 2 aspects. Oops, it's a little off, but you pipe off the 2 aspects that we're going to need. So we're going to need the heavy crude, which we're then going to send to the diluted. We'll send down to the blenderifications down over here and get that set up. So this is, now we're probably going to belt on the top, or we could put fuel on the top. I always debate. I think, you know what? We're not going to belt on the top. We'll keep it on the bottom. Because then I can just do this real easy. We can just slap a merger like right here. I know you don't need a merger for the first one, but just bear with me and we can just keep going like this, right? Bam, and then bam, and bam, 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 bam until it's done. Because we can just do this, right? Yeah. Oh, it feels good, man. I like it when I got my resources. I like building on a Sunday morning because it's a Sunday morning when I'm doing this, and then we can just do all this stuff, and then we can paint it and make it look nice with blackness. And have everything be ship shape, so to speak. Did I this is backwards. Errors were made. It's got to go the other way. So yeah, so anyways, we're gonna set this all up. This will just take, you know, a few minutes or so, probably a few hours. Let's not lie. Hey, what? You're what? You guys are facing the wrong way. Dang it. Anyways, let me get this basically set up and on the go, and I'll be right back. All right, I'm just going through and cleaning up some colors just to be nice and color coded. And now you can see what it's gonna look like. I may have to split. In fact, I'm probably most likely definitely gonna have to split this in two. So I've got a block of 5 or a block of 10. I kind of just reorganize this. We're gonna put another block of 10 behind here. And I think that pipe's gonna go on top here and feed the blenders on another level. So to make this build a little bit more compact, because we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, I was gonna lay them all out, all 16, because we need 16 of the blenders. I was decided instead of going all the way out, because we have a little bit of a problem with space with this freaking rock over here. So we're gonna go up. So we'll build 2 rows. That means that the other 10 of these will just feed the second floor. So I think if we were to just do this and just go vertical up a couple like so, just high enough. Yeah, so then we'll just build out here. Let's just switch that to 1 meter and we'll go zoopy zoop, like that. Yeah, so now you can kind of see, I'm out of concrete, but you can see how we're gonna put this up here and get that floor all done. And that kind of makes it reasonably compact. So we're gonna have the oil come through here. It's gonna process here. It's then gonna go through the blenders, which are gonna be making the blended fuel. Let's just paint all of these. This is something I've never really done until recently, but I'm getting into color coding all our bits and parts, and I really like it. It makes the factory kind of come alive. And as you can see down here, we've got all of the polymer that's going to come out, and it's just going to zoom through this gap right here. I think we have enough room. I may move everything down a scooch, and then this is going to go around and we'll put the residual rubber factory here. So it's going to go around and it's going to come back with plastic, and the plastic is going to go, sorry, the rubber is going to go into a plastic factory. So we're loop-de-loops are going to happen. It's a lot of stuff. So let me kind of move on to the next stage, and I need some resources because I need to build this platform out. Okay, we're starting to lay out the rest of it. I haven't put the second floor back on. I just kind of moving ahead with connecting the rest of the pieces. So the alternative recipe, alternate words, mouth, face, diluted fuel requires water as well. That's why we were starting off the episode kind of looking at the resource points that we were going to use. So I've started to connect up the water below here, just kind of splitting it into groups that we're going to need. And then we're going to have to obviously run another one to the second floor. And you can see I've color coded everything, started to connect everything. It's quite tight. I really like it, kind of nice and simple. And then over here, I was just kind of taking a look at just quickly setting up what would be the residual rubber. And I decided I was going to overclock these because then I can just get 5, but I don't know. I'm not sure if I want to overclock them. I might just extend these out and do 5 more. But you can see the polymer comes around, and instead of putting it over here, I actually flipped it to this side. And then you can see like the oil will come down here. Mostly because this will produce the plastic, which we need to go through another. It's hard to explain, but we have to do a loop-de-loop. This is actually a feeder. It's almost like a stoker plant. It's going to stoke rubber into the plastic facility. So if I put the rubber and it goes around and the rubber goes into this side, there'll be another like 37 refineries over here and another 15 down here, 16-ish. So yeah, we need a lot of room. So I figured if we go out 5, 10 that way and then bring them down back this way, we can just have the output of this go over there and feed it. So this is going to be our recycled rubber. Residual rubber, which is going to take in the polymer and water, and thus you can see we have water coming in, which is good. So having all of our water stuff kind of nearby is great, and then we can bring water in from, actually we have to bring in from 2 sources, one there and one over there. All right, as you can see, we're basically finished setting up the factory itself. So let's dive into the recipes and I'll show you what I ended up with. So everything starts with the oil and water coming in, which are being serviced from distances from here. We then pump everything up, and we're doing the heavy oil residue with polymer recipe. And we have 10 of those set up here. As I said, we've color coded everything nice and neat. Now, this is what I was talking about earlier, where I was gonna have to make 2 floors. We've gone ahead and done that. And we're pumping up the heavy oil residue. We're also pumping up the water. The blenders are doing their thing, and they're making the fuel, which we're then rerouting out the backside here to use in our factory. So we can see we got this like monstrosity of a connection, and I'm gonna have to tweak it a little bit. I don't know that it's 100%, but it seems like everything is slowly ramping up and going. I'm just waiting for everything to go green. It takes a little while to prime the system. And then here we have our rubber recipe, where we're basically taking recycled rubber, which is plastic, and fuel. And it's funny, we're using plastic to make plastic. I just don't ask questions. It works. Anyways, we're taking plastic in, we're doubling. Essentially, you can see here, this recipe doubles plastic by using fuel, right? So we're making 60 rubber, which then we can convert into a 1-to-1 recipe, essentially. So over here is we've got the recycled rubber right next to the residual, or the rubber, which is this one here, which takes the polymer, just residual rubber. So it's taking in the polymer we're producing over here. So it comes around the corner like we have. I have a little buffer here just in case. I was using it to prime, just in case something breaks, I can kind of force feed it a bunch of primer. It goes down there, and then the rubber comes out and joins the rubber line from the alternate recycled rubber. And then that all goes down and is fed into our plastic factory. Now, some of the this plastic gets fed back here. So we actually split off, I think it's this line right here. So these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then one of them I think is underclocked. As I was saying, 400, we need 466.667 plastic a minute. So we have 8 and we're producing 480. We can underclock this slightly, but I can take some of this and siphon it off and feed it back over here. I think that's one of the fixes I had to make to tweak this. You can see it's kind of backed up. It shouldn't really be backed up. It should just be moving smoothly. So we're gonna have to like cut a little bit of it off and probably feed it into this return line here, just a little bit. Yeah, and then the rest is just essentially going down to the end here, and we have all of the plastic from the rest of these guys, which is essentially 1800 plastic coming out of the back end of the factory. And so we have essentially three belts at 600 going into the sink, and we're producing a lot of coupons. So that is the factory now. So it's not, I'll have to say, like that tool really helps with your factory design. You have a specific input that you have, and it'll produce almost the best output without having to do too much math. So I got a lot of work to do to make this reasonably beautiful. So I'm going to start in on that now, but this gives you a snapshot of a factory you can put together if you want using the Satisfactory tools. Okay, so before the big reveal of the factory, we're going to just take a look at some of the foundational work I've put in here for what will be the way our material actually gets to somewhere useful. And I start to lay out this track on stream, and I'm already not liking it. It's okay, but it's very vanilla. I think we're going to dive into doing blueprints in the next episode, like my first real foray into blueprints. And I think we're going to replace this line with a blueprint train road / hypertube system and see how that works. I have some ideas, I have some concerns, mostly to do with curves or joints. I'm not 100% like angular joints. I'm not 100% sure how we're gonna do that. But anyways, let me do a quick walkthrough. So as you can see, we have our water pipes running down. Everything's kind of feeding up over here and being pumped in. I've got some basic structure underneath. I'm not gonna do too much detail work under here just because you're not gonna see it very often. But I figured the train station needs to have a little bit of life. The plastic's coming down into here, and then we're taking it off to the train's arriving. Nice. Takes it off to our main base currently, like our starter base, not even our our storage base yet. We're gonna have to do that in another kind of setup. I haven't fully decided what we're gonna do. Up here you can see the oil is just running underneath, and then it just kind of feeds into our system. And so I tried to make this reasonably pretty. I mean, it's trying to get away from boxes is difficult, but we have an entrance over here, and we've moved our hyper tubes, which you probably didn't really see, but they were up over here with our storage. Like this is our supply chests for doing the build, but I moved this over here, so now we have, you know, kind of a better shot. The train comes in here, we can see it. We've got some decorations, and then you can come into through the main doors and see the factory kind of working. And then you can walk around pretty much anywhere. I have a little bit more work to do here where we might put some stairs in and things like that, just so you can get to the second level of the blenderifications. And you can pretty much navigate yourself around the entire area. We need a little bit of pillar support there for that to make sense. And that's it. Yeah, it's just very simple design, clean, elegant. Well, maybe elegant's too strong of a word. Just ignore that. Just look away, don't look at it. Anyway, so that's just it. Everything is kind of working. We are now, you know, producing the 1800 a minute. It's just gonna get backed up by the train at this point. That's the only thing holding it up. So yeah, everything goes down and into the pipes. So I feel pretty good. I feel pretty good about the build. Let's go ahead and take a look at the outside now. And as you can see, we just kind of did a little bit different architecture. I tried to use angled roofs where I could to kind of change things up a bit, give it a better silhouette. You know, and there's no need for it. It's just purely for aesthetics. We can do a little bit more detail work on the outside. I'll probably come back on a stream and just kind of put in some columns and things like that. Let me show the other side now. And then from the other side, you can see we kind of follow the same pattern, but we have a little bit more detail, got some structural detail underneath just to kind of give it a bit more visual interest. But yeah, all said and done, I'm really happy with the fact that we've got 1800 a minute plastic. I don't know that we're going to need more than that, but this factory is kind of expandable in the sense that I could just make another building somewhere else and connect some oil to it. So yeah, pretty good. And for the next episode, we're going to be working on, like I said, the blueprints. We're also going to be getting into nuclear power soon, and I'm starting to do some setup work on our streams to collect all the resources we're going to need for that. Anyways, that's it for today's episode. You know what to do. Bang on the like button down below, crash that subscribe button, and if you haven't done so already, maybe toss a comment down below. My name is Boom, and I'm out.